there, and welcome back to Inside the Man Cave. My name is David Danger88, and this is where I showcase my pop culture collection. In this episode, we are taking a look at the Star Wars Applause collectibles. Now, Applause did a lot of different Star Wars characters and collectibles. They also did some cool Star Wars mugs, which I do have one of them to showcase. Now, most of my Star Wars Applause figures are dark side, so unfortunately I don't have all the light side ones, but they did a full range of different Star Wars products when they got the license. I don't think Applause is around anymore. I tried to see if there was, but even just trying to research on Applause Star Wars figures, there's not that much out there. So join me as I will showcase now my Star Wars Applause figures collection and a very cool Star Wars Applause mug. So, this is my first Applause figure with Boba Fett. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't stand very well, as I've got him on the base here. He didn't go very well on the round table, as you could see, but he is still looking good as ever. So, these are quite large figures. They're almost like statues in a way, but they are really good to look at. The detail is really done, and I still have the original booklet that came with the figure as well. Now, I think this was one of my original ones that I got in the late 90s, but this is a really cool, so I will take him off that stand and get a closer look. So this is actually fabric here that's around him, so that's really cool. And you've got his jetpack and the nozzle there. And then we have the Star Wars Applause booklet. So as you can see right there, that. And the booklet, so tells you a little bit about who he is, and where he's come from, and he's no good to me dead. So that was an Empire from Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, really cool. And then we've got the background. And there we have the original price tag, the Boba Fett vinyl doll, but it's the I would say it's a figure, and it is from 1996 from Applause. So they did a few of these, a lot of light side ones and dark side ones. I've only got the dark side ones. I do want to try and complete my collection to get more of them. He's got that famous Boba Fett weapon there, and it's looking good for like a sort of vinyl doll from the mid 1990s. They actually did pretty well, and I think this was around the same time as they were doing the Star Wars special edition. So Star Wars was just really hot property in the mid to late 90s. So there is Boba Fett.
Prepare yourself for Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. The evil Empire has struck back with a vengeance, and a new villain, the crime lord Shizor, schemes to replace Darth Vader as the Emperor's second-in-command. With Han Solo held frozen in carbonite by bounty hunter Boba Fett, it's the rebellion's darkest hour. Now, join Jedi warrior Luke Skywalker, hard-charging Chewbacca, and go undercover with heroic pilot Dash Rendar and his booming Outrider. But can Han Solo be freed and Shizor be stopped? Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. Look for the authentic figures and vehicles from Kenner.
And here we have my next Applause doll figure. It is from Star Wars Shadows of the Empire with Prince Isidore. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is a very weird pose. He's almost screaming in a way. And yeah, looking very sinister. So yeah, definitely had to pick this up. He's got even some cool hair at the back. Now, if you don't know what Shadows of the Empire was. It was a now considered in Star Wars Legends, but it was sort of a brainchild of George Lucas again, about a big multimedia project over books and comic books and video games, telling one story over those platforms. And I think it was a story like between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Now, I've never played the games or read the books or anything like that, but I've always been interested to do so, and I will probably at some stage. But it's an interesting thing to have sort of a Star Wars event, a story event over different platforms with books and comics and video games. So we can take a look at the original book from Star Wars Applause. And yeah, so remember, definitely the member of the Black Sun, which is now, he has, I think, come into Star Wars canon now, I think thanks to like the Clone Wars and everything. But that is pretty cool. And it says here, Vixer has realistic felon hair, so that is a nice touch they actually did for this character. Now, it's a weird one why they put him in this line, but I think at the time of the 1996 and the early 90s, Shadows of the Empire was, I think that's when it all came out. It was definitely after Return of the Jedi, but again, I don't know too much about the line. But yeah, I really like the design of this one. Really cool, sleek outfit. I'm pretty sure it's the same outfits now. The Black Sun now kind of still wear in the canon era, so which is cool. And he's sort of screaming face in a way, or taking his breath away. I don't know. He's already can be singing an opera or something. I don't know what he's doing, but it's such a unique one. I had to pick it up. So there is Prince Zizor. Next up, we have the Emperor of the Universe with Emperor Palpatine. And this one is a very sinister one. He's doing sort of a sinister grin in a way. I think he's got his hand ready for the lightning, force lightning. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It comes with just a bit of a dark globe, and yeah, he's got his walking stick over there as well. I've got the original tag. And this one's a cool one. Also, fun fact with this one, his hand actually lights up. If you put it along with some light, it'll light up. But I think it's that old. It probably won't anymore. But that's all good. But he still looks pretty cool. The only issue, the face does look a little bit weird. I don't know why he's sort of grinning like that. But for the most part, he's not too bad. And we'll take a little look at the booklet. So there is the Star Wars Classics Applause collection. And then we turn over and we've got more information about who the Emperor is, Palpatine, and one of his quotes from Return of the Jedi. So it's cool that they come with these little booklets, and thankfully, again, I picked this one at another op shop, and lucky he still came with the booklet as well. So that's cool. And then you've got the back cover, which is pretty much the same. He was on clearance when I got him. poor Palpatine. So overall, he's a pretty good looking figure. There's not that much detail to him because it is his sort of black Sith rope and his walking stick. I thought it's actually part of the sculpture. It could have been cool if it was separate, but that's not too bad. And the face could look a little bit different. He looks kind of more funny than sinister, but that is Palpatine in a nutshell. So there is Emperor Palpatine. Our next one, we have the Sith Lord Darth Maul. Now this one is quite different to the other Applause figures. This is more of an actual money bank. As you can see, the point there to put your money in, and then you can withdraw the money out there. But it is still made by Applause. I wanted to sort of feature this, but it is such a sick design. This guy is huge on his speeder, and you can see his cape just flowing through the wind of sands of Tatooine. But it just looks so cool. Now it's a little bit hard to focus in, but just the detail, even in the face, is pretty epic. Much better than the Palpatine one. This one did come about a little bit later on. As I'm reading it, it was from 1999, this Applause one. So it might have been towards the end of the Applause's contract with Star Wars. Because, yeah, it wasn't around for very, very long, but this looks cool. They did do a few Phantom Menace ones. I don't think they did any Attack of the Clones, but I know they did do some Phantom Menace ones, and of course the original trilogy in products. But yeah, this is a really cool thing. I would have definitely had this as a kid for a money bank. I only bought it, only recently found it on eBay for a good price. And yeah, he just looks sinister and great. And it goes well with my Sith collection, with the Applause. And yeah, I just really like the design of it. It is so epic and so sinister. Yeah, very, very cool. Even they've done the horns really well. And he's not super heavy, with the size of this, you could actually fit a lot of money in here. But yeah, I don't have any coins on me to try it out. So again, I can't express how amazing this Applause figure is. It is one of my favorite ones. My favorite one is coming up next, but yeah, it is a great design here. So there is Darth Maul and his speeder from Applause. And our final Applause figure we have, and it is an epic one and my favorite one, the limited edition Darth Vader. Now I actually got him shipped all the way from America, but it was well worth it. This was a limited edition Darth Vader from 1996. I definitely did not have this as a kid, and it just looks great. And a detail, if you didn't see in the rotating clip, but Darth Vader is actually standing on a Rebel helmet. So he's, just to make him even more sinister, and he's doing that choke pause. So that is pretty epic. And there we have the limited edition Star Wars Classics tag. And I will open this up here. So you've got the Darth Vader with his one of his favorite quotes, I think from A New Hope. And then a little bit about him. But as you can see, remove Vader's helmet to see inside, for more inside. And yes, you can remove Darth Vader's helmet. So I will just do that. And there it is, it comes off. So there is his helmet there, which is nothing to it. But that's what he looks without the helmet. And if I turn it around without letting it fall off, you can see the back part of Anakin Skywalker, or the scarred version of Anakin Skywalker. So that is really sick, if he can stand up really well. But yeah, that is a really, really cool little detail to have. Just those extra sort of points, because even when, if I remember on Return of the Jedi, when Luke takes off his mask, it kind of just rolls off. So the back part is probably always been open, only just to the actual helmet, and there was nothing attached to that back part of their head. So that is really cool. But yeah, you need the head on. It looks a little bit weird with no helmet, but he's a lot more sinister with the helmet than not. And yeah, he's doing great pose. The cape is really quite long. You've got his famous lightsaber there. And overall just looks really, really menacing and really great. Just, yeah, I'm really impressed by this. I never knew this one even existed. I think, again, it is a limited edition one, so I don't know for how many copies or what, but as soon as I saw it, when I was sort of getting some more applause figures for this video, I never knew about this one and I had to pick it up. So there is the limited edition Darth Vader. For my final item of the Star Wars Applause collection, we have the Star Wars classic mug. Now, Applause also not just did figures and money boxes, but they did mugs. So here is the little section. They're proud to announce this new classic series figure mugs. So they didn't do many of them. I'll show you the ones that they did was Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, C-3PO, and Boba Fett. And today we have the Darth Vader one. This is cool. So yeah, Applause also did mugs. So this set was from 1995. I've got the box open, but I have also the cards. So I've actually got the certificate that says this is the genuine article for the ceramic figure mug, and I also have the Star Wars fan club application. I don't think I can put it down for myself anymore, but these are the original paperworks that came with the mug from 1995, so that is cool. So now let's delve in and take a closer look at the Darth Vader Applause mug. So this is the Darth Vader Applause mug. Now this looks really cool. I don't think I'd ever drink out of it, but it's a great piece to go on my Star Wars shelf in the man cave, and this just looks really cool. There's a nice grip handle. There's definitely, quite a big mug when you think about it. Definitely wouldn't put it in the dishwasher though, because I feel like it could crumble and break, so that's why I'm being very cautious with it. But I just love the design from it. It's from 1995. I don't think they made many of them going off the certificate of authentication, so this is a very rare piece to have. I did get this off eBay, so it's a great find. Again, when I was sort of exploring the world of Applause for this video, I didn't even know they even made mugs. You know, I only just started with a Boba Fett figure that my parents got me when I was younger, and then I got other ones from op shops, and now they did money boxes with Darth Maul and figure mugs. So, well, thank you for joining me on this trip down back to the 90s with the Star Wars Applause collection that I have. It's a great range of figures and money boxes, and they did do quite a lot of stuff, especially for Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace, and Rebel figures as well, but I had to really collect the dark side because it's just so much cooler. So thanks for joining me on this trip down memory lane from Star Wars of the 90s with Applause.